And every now and again is here to share with us his latest My Ohio series. He's going to have a little something about tonight's story filled to the brim with goodness.
Oh, how right you are. You know, when I was told the grapes were near ready for the taking, I went to a vineyard in my Ohio, but it was there I found more than I had expected. This is a story of a great deal more than grapes on the wine.
It is near time. The grapes are approaching a fullness. They are robust, soon ready to give. A vineyard on the north coast of Ohio. It has been a good season. The expectation is wine from these grapes will be good. You are in the vineyard where workers who labor here are people of patience. Yes, patience is necessary. Still, one's palate gets ready to savor the wine. Not today, not yet, but soon.
So you see this is all hardening off. You can see it was green, it's turning brown. That means harvest is coming.
Vineyards are lands where good soil, favorable weather, and prayers may lead to a good yield of the grape. This vineyard grows under a warm sun. The pathway to good wine expected here begins on a trip through asphalted streets of an old and historic neighborhood. Where two roads intersect and a traffic light blinks from red to green is our vineyard. This is a heart of Cleveland's Hough neighborhood, East 66th Street and Hough Avenue. Yes, friend, this too is vineyard and wine country.
What happened was the grapes got too heavy and just pulled it right loose from the wire.
You are among the growth in the vineyards of Chateau Hough. Its winemaker is Mansfield Frazier, who 6 years ago told Cleveland City Hall someone ought to do something with a big forgotten field of weeds which sat useless. City Hall told Frazier to borrow the land and do what you can. With inspiration from the civic-minded Reimagining Cleveland group, Frazier put in some money and planted some vines.
Create something green, reuse land, but most importantly, create jobs. That's why we did grapes.
300 vines now, Traminette Whites and Frontenac Reds. The vineyard is but a few minutes from Cleveland's downtown. This year, as last year, Frazier and his workers expect the grapes to yield 700 bottles. Vineyard consultant David Popp agrees.
One of the parents is Gewürztraminer, the famous grape of Alsace in Germany, and it produces a very excellent wine.
Workers prune where needed. Grapevines must sometimes be cut back to strengthen the fruit for the long run. The vineyard sets nicely in the Hough neighborhood, which has slowly strengthened itself. 50 years ago, there was rioting here. Hough has had to rebuild. More is expected. Across the street from the growing grapevine is a neighborhood store. The store owner views the vineyard as a symbol, inspiring area residents.
They respect the vineyard. They sit, they look, no one bothers, they take pictures, they may walk through.
I don't have any fences. You never fence yourself off from your neighbors. You create something beautiful, get your neighbors to buy in, and employ some of the children.
Years ago, there was a TV wine commercial where the spokesman said, "We will sell no wine before it's time." Time is important in any vineyard. A time to plant, a time to grow, a time to be patient, and a time to harvest. Mansfield Frazier is a man who understands this concept of time in more ways than one.
He was a counterfeiter of credit cards, so the judge sentenced him to prison. Years later, Frazier is a book author, businessman, and radio talk show host. He celebrates life just as he also celebrates his BioCellar greenhouse, where experimental crops might be a way of combating hunger in the world. It and the vineyard grow on the same piece of land. On this piece of the Hough neighborhood, Frazier hires former prisoners, helping them find their own new growth. Frazier knows the pathway.
That's what we encourage people in incarceration to do. Don't just sit there. Time is doing you if you don't, improve your mind. I took the prison and turned it into my university.
The soil is good in Cleveland's Hough neighborhood. Predictions call for a hearty harvest when the grapes are ready to give. The land is valuable. Human hands have worked the soil and the vines. A Cleveland neighborhood grows, as does the vineyards of Chateau Hough. Neighborhood and vineyard both are patiently working. In the sun-filled air, grapes mature slowly, promising good wine from a plot of my Ohio and your Ohio, appropriately named the vineyards of Chateau Hough. This is Leon Bibb in the heart of Cleveland, telling you this is wine country.
You know, there is much I like about this story. Included is the fact that years ago, Mansfield Frazier turned his life around. Also, how he helps others find good pathways to walk in their own lives, employing youngsters from the community. And the vineyard, of course. Interestingly, 50 years ago this summer, there were riots in Hough. They decimated that neighborhood. Hough is growing again. New housing, new hope, new ideas. The vineyard is part of all of that. I'm Leon Bibb, suggesting when you lift a glass of wine, offer a salute to life and new beginnings, and what can be if we allow it. How do I know that? I heard it through the grapevine.